Alex,
Yes.
would it be fair to say that the Wii U has probably been the best system of 2014?
Most certainly, considering the lineup of the Xbox One and the PS4.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some decent games, but I'd say half the games of their two libraries are basically remakes and remasters.
Yeah, not to mention that even though there wasn't a lot of quantity for the Wii U, they certainly delivered more in quality.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah, it comes back to the term quantity over quality, basically.
Yeah, and it goes to show because you have what with you right now a top 5 list of your favourite games of 2014,
Yep.
which we'll say now consist mainly of Nintendo games.
Exactly.
And that's fine. Now, are you doing this in order?
This is in no particular order.
No particular order.
Keep in mind that I haven't played a lot this year. In fact, I've only played about, say, 6 or 7 new games this year. And the ones I'm going to go over are ones that are chronologically released. And of course, it was Mario Kart 8.
Yes.
If anyone's new to this channel and looked at our past videos, you can tell that a lot of my activity consists of Mario Kart 8.
And myself as well. There's been a lot of Mario Kart videos in general.
Yes.
over the last year. What is it that you particularly like the most about this Mario Kart?
Well, in general, it's that, well, despite a few annoyances, it feels like the definitive Mario Kart experience. Like, it doesn't seem to have, say, the most drawbacks to it, like in, say, Mario Kart Wii or Mario Kart DS or something. Like, it's not just because of the high-definition visuals and its soundtrack for being one of the most memorable soundtracks of the series, but it's also just because of the tightness of how everything controls and how it just feels like something anyone can get into.
So, what's your favourite track, or what's your favourite tracks in the game?
I'll
be honest, there's not a lot of tracks in this game I don't like.
Yeah, like, same. There's actually not one track I really dislike. It's one of those things that I haven't thought about too much, but which is kind of odd, because I talk about the quality of tracks often when it comes to this.
Yeah, I think that is probably the strongest point of this Mario Kart entry is the tracks. I think.
Oh yeah, I know what it is. I just remembered it was Mount Warrior. Unlike the other tracks, it makes it feel more like an adventure than it does an actual Mario Kart game.
I love the way that as you get towards the end of the track, I don't know if it's the way the music is just made, but the music builds at the end of the track by the time you get to this point in the track.
Yeah, like the jazzy tone of the music,
Yes.
and its pace gets faster and faster.
Yeah.
It feels like it cheers you on to get to that end. And honestly, do you know that straight when you glide at the end of the course?
Yes.
In every single race, I feel so tense.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite moments of this track in general, and that's why I love it so much.
So, what's your second on your list for your 5 favourite games of the year?
The next game I played then was Watch Dogs. I got the PS3 version. I did watch your comparison video on the Wii U. Was it the Wii U version?
Wii U to PS4, yeah.
The Wii U version didn't look as bad as I was expecting.
What did you actually think of the game itself?
The game itself, it was good. Yeah, it was good.
I played about 6 or 7 hours of the Wii U version, and I really enjoyed the time I played of it. I do want to go back and play more of it. I don't have any needs to want to play the story. I was not invested in the story whatsoever.
That's the thing, though. Like, because of how uninvested it kind of felt, I just didn't feel motivated until I pushed myself to play it through, and it was fun in terms of the gameplay. But it's just that the story itself, like, it just came and went. You didn't really feel much for these characters. Like, even though you did see a bit of what they go through, it's just that, you just don't feel like a sense of urgency for when, say, the hackers are going to destroy your system. You're just like, okay, I'm just going to drive to server. That's it.
The one thing I did enjoy about Watch Dogs was the actual hacking. Like, as much as it was kind of basic, I did like that in a way that you could, like, just to raise bollards up when you got police cars chasing you, just stuff like that. Or
yeah, like the hacking in Watch Dogs was definitely one of the highlights you could found in the game to me.
Yeah, like my favourite part was like getting some guards to come towards you. You looking through the camera around the corner, and then as soon as they pass around that corner, you like hack into the barrel to blow it up, and you blow them up as they walk past, and it's just like that feels really really cool.
That was pretty awesome. The fact that you could blow up guards when they're next to bombs through hacking, and it really felt like you were going through these stages. And what's really going to sound strange is that one thing I liked was funny is that they actually didn't do the escort missions that bad in this one.
I don't think I played any of the escort missions. If I did, I can't remember them, but they're pretty good, are they?
But this one, you had to hack into the cameras and direct where the characters go, and for the most part, it didn't really seem as dreadful as I expected.
Yeah.
It just shows how effective the hacking was, and as well as the fact that you could hack into cars, hack into bank accounts, hack into
I like that. I like just walking around and just literally get your camera, or not your camera, your phone would just sort of show who the people are going around. They actually felt like they were people on their general lives.
Yeah.
Like just to see their names pop up and just to see their occupation, how much they get paid. And actually felt like they weren't just NPCs. Well, they are, really, but they didn't feel like they were just NPCs walking around. They actually felt like they had a place and a purpose. So what's next on your list then, Alex? What's third?
Next in order is Hyrule Warriors.
I played this game quite a bit. Yeah, I basically beat the main campaign. Played a bit of the what's the other mode?
Adventure mode.
Yeah, that looks like the Legend of Zelda, the original one.
The NES one.
Yeah, I played a bit of that, but I started playing that just after I beat the story, and I was like, I think I'll leave this. I played Hyrule Warriors for like 10 hours straight, pretty much, and we're just like, I'm probably just gonna leave it for a bit.
You know what, Dan? What you just said now is exactly what I'm in right now.
Honestly,
campaign, but I've only played like a few levels of adventure mode, and I said I'd get back to it when I feel like it, and I still haven't gotten back to it as much as I want to.
Yeah, it's time and a bunch of other games that I haven't even beat the story. So.
It's not because the game's boring or doesn't interest me. It really does. It's just
same.
It's just because of time and because I just don't have as much time to play a lot of games, and that's the thing.
It really is like the Zelda fan letter.
It blew my mind how many references there are to Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword.
It's made me want a Hyrule Warriors 2 with a bunch of other Zelda games in it, like Wind Waker and Minish Cap and Link to the Past, all the others.
But I'm calling it. There's going to be a Hyrule Warriors Plus in 2015 announced. I'm calling it.
What, with all the DLC attached?
All the DLC attached and some new Zelda sections.
What did you think of the main story mode itself? Because I mean, as much as I loved it, I do wish there was more missions as the enemies. Like when you beat the game and it's like, you can play as the enemy, Ganondorf and all
that was probably my favourite part of like the whole story. Whoa, holy shit, you get to play as Ganondorf.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
And then I thought, holy shit, you could take over Hyrule and defeat the hero of time.
Is that the first Dynasty Warriors game you played, or Warriors game have you played?
It is the first Warriors game I've ever played.
I was really looking forward to the Hyrule Warriors as soon as it was announced, but I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it and how long I played it for.
Before I played this, I only knew Warriors from the gameplay style. Like, I knew you had to defeat, say, hundreds of enemies at the same time, and that kind of gameplay style really does cater to me, because I do love these moments where where you feel like you're in power of everything, you can destroy everything in your path. But Hyrule Warriors did not disappoint on that, and I really, really did enjoy that aspect.
Yeah, I think that for me, Hyrule Warriors is the surprise of the year. As much as I was looking forward to it, I was surprised I enjoyed it as much as I did.
Same, like, I thought it was going to be a good or decent little game, but
I thought I was going to have to slog through just to play it, because I wanted to see what the story was. I wanted to see what they were going to do with the story. So, Alex, what's next? What you got up next?
The next one might not be, say, Game of the Year material or spectacular to some people's eyes, but it definitely made me feel like, well, not only nostalgic, but also hooked onto it as soon as I played it. And that was definitely Pokemon Omega Ruby. Third generation is my personal favourite generation.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like, out of all the Pokemon generations, like, I even, prefer Ruby and Sapphire over Gold and Silver, believe it.
Really? Gold and Silver, my favourite. On the subject of Omega Ruby, though, let's just hark back to your childhood.
Okay, as well as the fact that I've not played a lot of games in 2014, a big reason why this is one of my favourites from what I'm playing is it's just for that large reason alone. And if this is someone's first Pokemon game, then I honestly think they could get as much enjoyment as they would in X and Y. Not only do they add abilities and natures, but also, well, I think, to me, because I'm a fan of the exploration aspect in Pokemon, it's just, I feel like they upped the scope of it, like they did with Gold and Silver. There's no second region to visit in Ruby and Sapphire.
That's what did bug me as well, was the fact that in Gold and Silver, you went back to Kanto. That was so cool. I never even knew that until you beat it. And you're like, I beat the Elite Four. Oh, now I've got 8 more badges, and I can go back to Kanto. That's fucking really awesome.
I do, because, well, you can dive as well, and you can explore different kinds of caves throughout.
Yeah, that is cool.
Meteor falls or volcanoes, and the Battle Frontier level made it so much better, and it's just stuff like that really made it something that I wanted to go back to.
I really liked the towns, particularly, actually.
Watery City was, a unique...
And what's the one, the floating city?
Zoopolis City. It's not just the nostalgia that I really like it to bits, but the other additions you have in Generation 5 and 6, and you add them into the same kind of environment and the same feel you have for Pokemon Ruby,
So, Alex, tell us what your last game on your list is, which I know you've said you probably think this is your favourite game. If you had to pick one out of 5.
Of all the games I mentioned, Mario Kart 8 and this next game is basically tied.
Okay, yeah.
No surprise, it's Super Smash Bros. For Wii U.
I think it has to be said that this game has a ridiculous amount of content. There are so many modes, there are so many collectibles, there are so many challenges, events, things. There's so much to do. On top of the fact of all the amiibo stuff as well. I'm collecting trophies. That's all I've been playing Smash for. That and trying to do the challenges.
I gotta admit though that I'm not a massive fighting game fan myself. Aren't really my kind of thing. But with Smash Bros, because it doesn't rely on as much combos as those other fighters, and because
it is more of a party game. Like at the end of the day, it's a party game. What is your main hook on Smash Bros? Because everyone that I've talked to on Smash, everyone has their own thing, their own mode that they play a lot of.
My biggest hook for Smash Bros was just all the Nintendo fan service. I wanted to know like a bit more about these franchises, and
totally agree. Whenever I thought about a new character, I remember thinking Little Mac could be pretty good as a character, but I thought I don't know how you're going to make him into a jumping character. Turns out they made that as his hindrance, so they did quite well there.
I've not played a lot of the characters yet. It's just the ones I mentioned are the ones I've been trying to get into. What I said before was that I played Smash Bros before for the fan service and trophies, but because I've been to meets with people playing Smash Bros. Because when Brawl came out, I was still at school and no one else played Smash Bros. And all I had was online to rely on, but the online was so shit I didn't really care for it. Now because I've found more local people to play, and because the online's better, I've actually gone a little bit more into the fighting, to my surprise.
That's pretty cool. So really, if you had to choose between the two, you couldn't. Between Mario Kart 8
Mario Kart 8 was, if you look at my channel, I did a reaction video on my Street Pass UK national tournament.
Oh, yeah, on your channel, yeah?
Yeah, on my channel. And I've got to be honest with you, out of all the games I've played, that has got to be my favourite moment of, any game this year. Which is going to sound kind of, biased because it was just a tournament I played in. But it's just the amount of tension, the amount of interactivity you had with the other players. And and the fact that I met with so many other like-minded people who were into the sort of stuff this year really did stand out for me. But with Smash Bros, because it's so content-packed and has just as much of the qualities of Mario Kart, I just cannot decide.
If anyone wants to know what my favourite games are of 2014, because there's a link on the screen right now, probably. I did another video where I spoke with a couple of mates. We talked about our favourite games there.